Alright YouTube, finally a blacksmithing video on J.A.M forge. Although I did burn the bar a little bit to start with. We're going to make an S-hook, simple S-hook. This burn into the bar will be alright because we're gonna, it's not structural, we're going to forge it down anyway. Nobody will know we burned it with me and my 14 subscribers. What I'm doing is just drawing a tape. Basically on two sides so that the anvil can do the other two sides, but you'll find the size the anvil does to be a lot smoother. So I still like to roll it around and get the other sides to the face of the anvil. Alright, we're going to pause it for a second and go back to the forge.
Pause it?
Yeah. Alright, now we're going to make the little rat tail on the end. You can do it a lot of different ways, but this is the way traditionally we would do it, is roll it with a hammer like this and roll it up. I'll tell you there's easier ways to do it, mainly with a pair of needle nose pliers, or rolling tongs. We're just going to straighten it up before we put it back in the fire. I'm going to go back in the fire for a minute and heat it back up. Try not to burn the little end off of it because it'll burn really fast, especially in a coke forge like this, or coal forge. They burn fast. If we were using the propane forge, you wouldn't have to worry about that as much. So, and now we're going to use this jig I made. We're going to make the end of the hook. So what we'll do is take it out, cool off that little tip so we don't damage it. Clip it into here like that and just bend it around the jig and go a little past so that when it's done, if I can get it off of here, it looks like that. And then we'll just tap it straight up, just tap. Keep it. This will give it the illusion that the sides are still flat even if they're not exactly perfect. My way of cheating a little bit. Also, I like the hammer marks up and down the bar. You ain't got to kill it, but it does add some value to the hook in the way it looks. And then we're going to brush this one with a brass brush to give it that bronze kind of shine. Why it's kind of at the black heat, bronze will stick to it real good, or brass as the case may be. Better if you brush in one direction if you like your brush. If you brush it both directions, it really tears up the brush. We're going to go back in the fire. We're going to pause the video and go back in the fire because the other end has to heat up and it's going to take a while to get some stuff full size. Alright, so we got it hot. We come out and draw the same taper on the other end. And for the purpose of this hook, I'm going to twist it. So we're going to do exactly the same. And when we're done, it's going to look almost like a pair of brass knuckles. But right now, we're going to draw this end down, the same as before. Up and down the flat side. Trying to work the end to a point. I really don't like the hammer handles. I don't like this bigger hammer, but I really don't like that hammer handle. Go back in here and heat it up a little bit more. It'll only take a second. So I'll talk about this a minute for you guys that are watching these channels like I did and thought, man, that looks like a cool hobby to get into. Well, really, it's cool to make stuff out of steel. As far as the hobby goes, I don't know. It's expensive, it's a lot of work, and I was looking for a way to get in shape, a little better shape, lose some weight, and this is a high energy, high exercise type hobby. So if you want to lose weight and you got a lot of money to throw around, which I didn't, and you can buy all this stuff and start doing this, but go to somebody else's shop first, or go take a blacksmithing course and find out that beating on metal is actually fun. I'm here to tell you, it's cool, but it ain't fun. Sometimes when stuff works out right, it's fun, but it's pretty darn rare. See, this is the time I tried to cheat and use the needle nose. Now look how different the ends came out. I'm gonna uncoil that and do it with the hammer, because I want the hook to match. So the moral of the story is, whatever you do on one end, you got to do it the same on the other end. No matter what, if you want it to look the same, but you got two elements on one bar, like a S hook or a curtain rod or anything like that, they need to match. If they need to match, you have to do them the same. You can't go back and go different one time than the other. The good thing about iron is, short of burning it, breaking it, or destroying it, you can always straighten it, back out. As long as it's at working temperature, don't work it too cold, you'll bust the end off of it. Go back in the fire, heat just the tip of it up, and we're going to roll it like we did on the other side with the hammer and the hammer. But I got distracted. I've already made 6 or 7 or 8 hooks, and I was using the pliers. So now I got my lovely niece out here filming, so I can actually make a forging video, and forgot that I had done this one this way. Which, by the way, I do think looks a lot better. But if you're making these, and you have any hopes of selling them, to make any kind of money, the needle nose plier way is a lot faster. Just if you're keeping track. Now we're going to put the whole bar down in the fire, and I'm going to stick that little hook, little curl, out through the fire onto the other side. It doesn't need to get hot, and you definitely don't want to burn it. So stick it all the way through and let it go out the other side. Even though it's down in the fire pot, it's not in the hot spot. And this will take just a second, and then we'll go make a hook in the opposite direction. I don't know, in the same direction on this one, because we're going to twist it up. Pretty hot. Way back there. Now I didn't get I shoved the hook, the little deal too far through, because I was paranoid about burning up the little curly cube. Some people call it a pigtail, rat tail, whatever. I was worried about burning it, so we didn't get the hook out in the right place. Again, with a gas forge, you wouldn't have to worry about that issue. These forges here will burn up teeth. Same as before. Actually, anyway, I'll show you. So, look at it a little past. I do want to straighten it a little, so I'm going to come back to this side, straighten it up a little, make it look like a hook, and we're going to twist this baby here in a second. First, scale off of it, tap it flat. Remember, you at least want the illusion that the hook square. Okay, I'm going to brush it, a wire brush. This is a brass brush. It'll leave a cute little bronze looking finish on it people love. Now this is the next part going to be tricky. I would normally use my torch to do this, but we're not going to use the torch. I'm going to heat just the center if I can. I'll put it on top here. Push it down in a little. Cover up just the middle of it. And I'm going to watch it. I'm going to keep the little curly cues uncovered. And I'm going to watch them really closely. Because if they start to spark, you got to get it out of there right then. They'll melt off. If they spark, probably it's too late. They'll all melt off. We're going to put it in here in the leg vise, and I'm just going to twist it with the tongs. I'm not going to twist it with the twist and wrench. It doesn't need it. It's just 1/4 inch material. It's overkill to use a twist and wrench. So unless you're twisting it stone cold, which I also could have done. I could have twisted it cold using a twist and wrench. For the purpose of the video, we will show you how you can heat the middle of it if you pay attention. But you have to pay attention. Check it. If you're going to twist it with tongs, you got to remember it's got to be hot. So it's got to be hot enough that it wants to twist pretty easy. Even though these tongs are pretty heavy duty tongs. I have another video how to build these guys on the channel if y'all want to see it. These are wolf jaw tongs that hold several different kinds of sizes of stock because I didn't have any thing that would really hold these 1/4 inch hooks I wanted to make. And I'm still talking, but I'm still watching. I'm watching my little curly cues. I'm watching for any sign that I might be about to ruin the work. And don't get distracted, even if you got a pretty girl in the shop running the camera. Don't get distracted. Distractions are bad. It's hot. Take it out. Clamp it in the leg vise. Grab it up here. Pretty high. And we're going to just twist it. And we're going to hope it misses itself. And it does. So we're good. And I'll come around probably one more time. But remember, you have to make full twist because the hook has to wind up in the same plane. Also, I'm pulling quite hard as I do it because you don't want to wind up with a squiggled up worm looking section in the bar. You want to keep it straight. Use my regular wire brush to clean it off. And then we're going to go back to the brass brush. We're going to make the hook look like $1 million hook. Actually, if you're interested, contact me. We're going to make the hook look like a $25 hook. Might take 20 on a good day. Put a little more brass on it. And we'll look at it. This end's a little wide, so we'll close it up a little. Try to make it match. Be sure it's flat, straight. Do not hit the twisted part. If you have to hit the twisted part, tap it. Don't hit it. Even that tap flatten out the edges, which takes away from the look of the hook, in my opinion. I got a wooden hammer in there and a rawhide mallet's what I would usually use to straighten it for the event. Right now I didn't do it. I'm gonna come over here and just, this is what she's been doing, but I'm gonna do it because I don't want to show her on camera. And wax the hook. This is just Johnson's paste wax, Johnston's, I think. They need to be sponsoring all these blacksmiths. I don't see them sponsoring anybody, but this is pretty much the magic juice every blacksmith uses. keep the materials from rusting, make them look shiny. Now, the plan for this was to make it match a hook I made earlier. And I'm gonna tell you right now, why do you have two gloves for the same hand? I'm gonna tell you right now, this girl's got two left hands. So the goal for this hook was to have it match one that I made earlier. So I wanted to make a set of them. Let's see how close we can. Here's the other one. Closed it up pretty far. This one here I didn't close up as much. So I kind of like this one, not closed up as much. But for matching this one, I'm gonna take it over and I'm gonna close it up. And the way I'm gonna close it up is easy. I'm not gonna sit here, reheat it and all that. It's only 1/4 inch material. I'm just gonna tap right here, right behind the curl. It's still pretty hot, even with these bad to the bone heat beater gloves. Also, not a sponsor. But blacksmithing, I recommend it. Welding gloves will get hot and then burn you till you get them off you. These gloves get hot, you get off the hot material, they'll pretty quickly stop burning you. Not as fast as you want them to, but pretty quickly. So now you got two hooks. That's the hot one. Two hooks that match really close to matching. Maybe. I'll turn it the right direction. It's kind of like a puzzle. You got to figure out this hook is so hot. You got to figure out which ends go together like a puzzle. But there's your hooks. So the other thing I'll say for you guys wanting to be blacksmiths, you know, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I know I said earlier it was expensive and time consuming and all that, but no matter what anybody tells you, you're going to get burnt from time to time. You're going to get fed up, frustrated and all that and bored, but there's something about it, taking a piece of straight steel and turning it into something, no matter what it is, that is rewarding feeling. And I'll get some more videos up. Thank y'all for watching.